back again. This time we're doing something a little bit new here, and it's called story time. And this is basically where I talk about some things that went in my past life or experiences or anything like that. So let's start. My first girlfriend. Okay, so we're gonna call my buddy Steve. Okay, so me and Steve were just hanging out at my house Friday, and we were just playing games like that. And then he randomly asked why I didn't have a girlfriend. I basically simply told him that I just have antisocial problems and I don't feel very confident about myself. And so he said, why don't we go meet her Saturday and go meet this girl that I know Saturday, and yeah. And so basically the plan was to meet him at his house first, and then we go to her house. And the only problem here was that her mom didn't know about us yet, and we wanted to meet first before we told our parents or anything like that. And that kind of made it difficult for me and my dad because I didn't tell him. Basically all I told him was I was going to my buddy David's house to hang out. So, and the other issue is I had to be back by 5. And so I got there about 10 o'clock in the morning. And so we didn't leave his house until about 2 because they didn't wake up until about 2. And then when we got there, it was about 3. Got to the girl's house about 3. And let's call her Vicky. Protect her identity. Vicky basically, she was cute and everything. We basically talked, sat down on the couch, hanged out. It was a little awkward at first because it felt really awkward in the room. And basically, after we sat there and talked for a little bit, we basically left and went to some gas station to get some beverages. And the reason why we left is because I'm just gonna point this out now before we continue. That the place she lived in was not a very good neighborhood. She lived in a duplex where the ghettos are. Basically we went to the gas station, bought some food. Well, not food, like drinks and sodas and stuff like that. And so what the plan was is go back to David's house to hang out and talk and get to know each other. So from there we started heading back. I didn't realize what time it was. Like the time we started heading to David's house was close to 4. And then the time we finally got there was about 5. I was like, oh shoot. So it really upset me and I wish I didn't. Like what happened is that I had to leave. So I basically told him, I was like, hey, I'll come back Sunday. David, can you take her home for me? Due to that my dad wanted me home like right now. So, and the reason why I had to be home by 5 is because I had to babysit my sister because of my dad wanted to go to the concert. So the deal was that was gonna happen. So Sunday came. But instead of going to David's house, I just went straight to her house because I knew where she lived then. At that point, we talked. Like we went to hang out in her room with David. So we started cuddling, making out and stuff like that. But what the funny part about this was that like in about 10 to 20 minutes out of that, her mom walked in and basically called it, she was like, y'all dating? I was like, she like,
never stood a chance.
Vicky just shook her head yes, and then we just looked at each other, and then that was kind of the story. Her mom shut the door. Yeah, and for about 2 months we were together, and it was really great. I loved my time I spent with her. We had a great time. And before we continue with the story, I cut to the parts where it's just gameplay, so I had to wait for the loading screens. But we were together for 2 months, and it was great. And before the last month, before the last month, I was the virgin after that. Let me just say that. Okay, and out of that, that's pretty much what, like, we broke up. But here's what the deal was. Is okay that her friend, let's call him Michael. Michael basically was her black friend, and I was cool with that. It's fine, whatever. It's a guy. I don't care. But the deal was is that he came over, and basically he came over with drugs like weed, and that's cool and everything. It's fine. It ain't a big deal. And basically I didn't care. So she did some of it. I didn't do none of it because I just didn't want to do it. I didn't feel like it. I was kind of tired because I didn't sleep very well that night. Basically we were hanging out laying on the bed just chilling, and I kind of started not feeling too great because my head just started throbbing and I just didn't feel too great. And so I basically left and I told her I was leaving and I was gonna have to go because I didn't feel very well, and she got mad at me because I had to leave. But I didn't want to take her medicine that she had because her family is kind of poor, so I really didn't want to do that to them. So yeah. And until I got home, we broke up, and I was like, really? Over some medicine? And not to do the fact that either, she treated me like crap because she controlled me. Like literally, if I went to go hang out with a girl, she'd question me. But if she go hang out with a guy, it's fine. It's perfectly fine, yeah. But why does she question me whenever I don't question her about her friends? I don't think that's honestly right, but yeah. That's basically what happened. But in between after that, like, that was my started my 9th grade year. But we got back together several other times, like my 10th grade year, my 11th grade year. But after my 11th grade year, I like right now as I sit, I kind of told myself I'm done. I'm just done with it because I'm not gonna try to make this relationship work with this controlling girl. But as she sits now, she is married to the guy that did the weed, when we first dated. She got married to him. She has like 3 kids now. She dropped out of high school. She never went to finish high school. She said she was gonna finish it, but she never did. She don't have a driver's license, and yeah. So guys, that was pretty much my story of my first girlfriend. Yeah, the reason why I went through so many times getting back together with her is because when I was first with her, I was deeply in love, and the other times when I wanted to get back with her, I felt so alone. I felt depressed half of the time without her. But as my last time we got back together, I didn't feel too happy. So I wasn't happy about what was going on in my life, and that's kind of what it was. So that was my experience. I learned from that experience, and now I know not to never do that again because yeah, that was a nightmare for me. But yeah, that was my story, guys. If y'all like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, dislike it, and tell me why down in the comment box like you didn't like it, or if you did like it. Yeah, if y'all want to see more of this, let me know. And I'm doing this also for my future reference. Yeah. Stay jazzy, stay classy. Nicholas will be here. Howdy. Have a nice day, guys.